What's good, everyone? This your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room yet again, always with another one. Yes, indeed, it is another one. So this is where we at now. Listen, look, it's just coming to light here. Denver has basically shut a lot of Trinidad Lager's situation down to a degree. Caught these fools in a nightclub out here, of all places, gathered together damn near. Like they idiots. Okay. But you know what I'm saying? At the same time, though, too, going down to Mississippi, shout out to the SIP, you know what I'm saying, where I'm from. Listen, look, apparently they're going to be paying bounty hunters $1,000 per capture out there. Shout out to that. So Mississippi coming up out of pocket. They're giving a much more of an incentive to capture these illegals out here, man. It's getting crazy. It's getting crazy. But listen, look, man, Trump's coming through on what he said he's going to do, and he's opening the doors for a lot of things to go down. But we're finna go here now. We're finna check out what's going on in Colorado first, and we're going to head over to Mississippi. Let's go here now. Quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
We are learning more about a drug enforcement raid where 49 people were taken into custody over the weekend.
Federal agents interrupted a party in Adams County early Sunday morning. They say 40 people who were arrested were undocumented, and some are connected with a violent criminal gang from Venezuela known as Tren de Aragua.
Your CBS Colorado investigator Brian Moss joins us right now in studio. And Brian, you spoke to the DEA today.
And what they did is they offered a lot more information to us today about what happened Sunday morning there in Adams County. They said most of the undocumented people arrested Sunday were from Venezuela, but there were also people from Mexico, El Salvador, Honduras, Cuba, Romania, and Italy who were rounded up.
Jesus Christ. Italy? Damn. Oh, wow. Listen, look, we got all types of illegals over here. And this is crazy. Let's keep going.
Facebook Live.
Rounded up after federal agents surprised nearly 50 people gathered at a pop-up nightclub on North Federal Boulevard. The feds say the party was organized by the violent Venezuelan TDA gang.
Listen, a lot of those people had criminal records in the U.S., and I'm certain that some of those folks probably had criminal records in their home countries as well.
The DEA's special agent in charge in Colorado says his agency had been tracking the Tren de Aragua gang since last summer.
So you're asking me if I think we got them all? No. I think there's still more folks associated with TDA here, but I think that they know we're coming.
The TDA gang issue emerged last year after this video went viral of 6 armed men at an Aurora apartment building. Some politicians and media reports claimed these were TDA gang members, but Aurora police later said they could not link the men to the gang.
It's not always easy to identify, and guess what? These guys don't admit that they're TDA. So we're still working through the intelligence on that. Interviews are still being done today.
Pullen said he's sure some of the men detained in this nightclub bust are.
Damn, I see that. Okay, this is a chick right here, though. This is a chick. You can tell by the nails and stuff. So, yeah, they got chicks out there. Listen, look, this is crazy to me. So you mean to tell me these illegals done got so comfortable up there in Denver, in Colorado, so they done open up nightclubs and shit specifically for them. On top of that, they done got just that comfortable within this past year. They opening up nightclubs with that drug money they got going. Wow. And so all these fools, these idiots, I'm pretty sure they've been listening to the news. All these idiots decide to gather together that night, go all in there together, all of them illegal. Wow. All in one spot. That made it easy as hell right there.
TDA, judging from tattoos and clothing. He said 4 pistols along with drugs were also confiscated here on Sunday.
And I think by taking 40 people off the street who were associated with a violent gang like TDA, makes people in Denver wake up to a safer city.
Pullen did not release the names of those picked up, but said they were now in federal custody. Additionally, he said the DEA arrested 2 more undocumented people this morning in Denver in an unrelated case. He said those 2 were in possession of 130,000 fentanyl pills, along with heroin, cocaine, and methamphetamine. And he said they are affiliated with Mexican drug cartels.
This is
wow. Listen, look, yeah, they getting them. They rounding them up very quickly. And I don't see anything wrong with that. Let's go here now, and we're going to keep checking out the Colorado situation a little bit more. Let's go.
Here in Colorado, an early morning raid happened yesterday, taking nearly 50 people into custody, including members of the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua.
And Fox 31's Carly Moore joins us live from DEA headquarters with more details about that. Carly, good morning.
Kirk, Andrea, good morning. Yeah, the DEA said this has been a months-long investigation trying to get these criminals behind bars here. And they said that this would have happened regardless of who's in the Oval Office. But the DEA did post pictures and videos of this raid. Take a look here.
Hold on now. My question is, if that would have happened regardless of who was in office, why didn't it happen already? Hold on now, Denver. Hold on.
What the French toast is there to think about?
Because if we got long memories out here, I remember what was the mayor, things like that of that particular place was saying that he's going to stick by the illegals and stuff like that, just like Brandon in New York, Chicago and things. Listen, look, okay, yeah, it was going to happen anyway. Okay.
You can see DA seized guns, drugs, and large quantities of money, placing 49 people under arrest, 41 of them determined by ICE to be in the country illegally. The videos posted on X show dozens of people in handcuffs surrounded by law enforcement in snowy conditions at that makeshift nightclub near Federal and 65th. They say the nightclub sets up on certain weekends and is invitation only.
Look at them cats out there. Clay, dude got a whole suit on out there. Hold on. Hey, he say, fuck this. They out there clean. They put on their best gear that they probably stole from some innocent American, shit, man, stop. Because they ain't going to no store buying the shit. Yeah, they stole some clothes and stuff like that. They out there fly, got their best gear on with their little illegal honeys out there too, Got they little illegal ladies up in the club with them shaking it fast. They all illegal in the joint. Listen, look, man, wow. They felt comfortable enough to open a nightclub knowing they illegal over here. Man, all right.
Only used by TDA and their associates. Those in custody could be seen bussed away from the location with crime tape, beer bottles, and broken windows left behind.
Yeah, women out there. There you go. They look at them with, oh, that's a big back over there. Hold on. They got big backs out there, slim trims. Hey, listen, look, and all these motherfuckers is illegal. They stick together, don't they? Hey, black folks could learn a thing or two about that. But, that's neither here nor there.
We took people who were selling drugs. There was potential prostitution at the location. There was guns at the location. We know they're involved in much higher level drug trafficking, and a lot of them went to jail. This is the normal course of business for DEA, right? So this was a DEA operation targeting drug traffickers. In this case, they happen to be illegal aliens, and our ICE friends took care of that part of it. But we're going to continue to go after drug traffickers wherever we find them.
So we also spoke to James Albee, a law enforcement procedure expert, who says immigration enforcement was not the focus of this particular search warrant, and he does not believe people without felony charges could have been caught up in this raid. We did get a statement from Governor Polis's office on Sunday that said the governor welcomes the news that guns and drugs were removed from Colorado streets. Governor Polis is committed to making Colorado one of the top 10 safest states. He hopes law enforcement continues to coordinate to keep guns and drugs out of our communities. Experts say this incident shows that the TDA gangs have really got away from Aurora. Again, this situation happening in Adams County, so no borders there. We also know that no shots were fired and no injuries were reported during this incident.
Okay, so yeah, it just is what it is, though. So the governor, he's also, singing a different tune too as well. So, all right, we're about to slide on into the bounty hunting situation over in Mississippi. Let's go here now and see what's going on here, because I'm interested. I really do want to know if just anybody could turn in an illegal and get the one bands. Yeah. Because, well, I ain't going to say. I'm going to keep my mouth shut. Let's go here now.
There's a reward that's associated with this, $1,000 reward if the person or people are actually deported. Is the incentive there? I mean, is that a good way to do this, or is that, I don't know, is it creating a deal where somebody's like, hey, I'll just cast a wide net, and you start looking at racial profiling and whatever else. They're like, hey, that person looks like they might be illegal, and that person looks like they might be illegal. Let me just turn in all of these, and then we'll see what happens, and maybe I'll have a little extra Christmas money.
So, I mean, it brings up a good point. What does an illegal immigrant even look like? We're not talking about just brown people or people that just look a certain way. Illegal immigrants come from so many different countries. They look like anyone. And so I hear the phrase profiling or the racial connotation to it. But I think it's important to note that I don't think you can look at someone and say, oh, well, they look like they're illegal. You would have to have some.
That's definitely true. Now, you can't just look at somebody and say that they're illegal and things like that. That's impossible to do. You do have people that have, came over here the legal way as well, that you still may not just clearly speak English or anything like that, and they still speak their native tongue and things like that. And it be a little choppy when you talk to them and stuff. So, you can't just sit there and just point and say, oh, yeah, you're illegal. Nah, it don't work that way. You're going to have tangible evidence that this person is illegal.
Some sort of substantive insider knowledge about an individual to know if they're here legally or not. I mean, we know the vast majority of people, come from, through the southern border, and a lot of them are, South American countries or Central American. And so, I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying, but it's important to know that you can't just look at someone and then, oh, they're going to get shook down by the police. Our police do a fantastic job right now of deciphering information and knowing when to act and when not to act. So if someone calls in to the Department of Public Safety and says, hey, I have this information on an individual, they're not going to say, oh, well, let's go shake them down. Just like if you call and say, hey, there's a blue Dodge Ram driving through my neighborhood, they look like they're drunk. The police aren't going to just go pull them over. They're going to get behind the car, make sure they're swerving or driving erratically, or they're going to notice something themselves and then act on it. So if a tip comes in and someone has bad intentions or they're trying to take advantage of a program, that would be filtered out by the work that law enforcement would have to do in investigating each matter.
Right. And that makes perfect sense. And I definitely agree with that part of what he just said about that. It does have to be filtered out. You can't just sit here and just, point fingers. Oh, you're illegal. Oh, you're illegal. No, it don't work that way. You can't just run around here destroying people's lives that technically are not illegal here. Okay. So we have to have some type of adult discernment about this situation. I definitely get it. I don't want anybody getting harassed that's not an illegal. Okay. Regardless of, they look like or whatever, or they may not clearly speak English and things like that. You can't just run around here harassing people like that. So it's going to have to be some information, solid information that you're going to have. Definitely knowing that this person is a illegal and things like that. So, all right, we're going to keep going here. And I got this part as well about the situation and things like that. And where we at? We're right here. Let's go here now. Quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
Registered bounty hunters in Mississippi could get $1,000 for each successful deportation they facilitate. That's under the terms of House Bill 1484, which would create the, quote, Mississippi Illegal Alien Certified Bounty Hunter Program. A Mississippi District Attorney, Matthew Barton, proposed the bill, which was authored by Republican State Representative Justin Keene. Representative Keene joining us now live this morning to explain all of it. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us here today.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I appreciate being here.
Of course. Well, first off, I want to do a broad overlook here at this legislation. Can you break down exactly what it is and what it would really do?
Well, this piece of legislation was brought about to fill a gap. We all have seen over the last 4 years kind of what the Biden administration has done to the ICE department. He's basically tried to shut it down to where it's non-functional. So House Bill 1484 was created to give us a neighborhood watch sort of gap for people that deal with criminals on a day-to-day basis. That's what bounty hunters, law enforcement, bail bondsmen do. So it's an information gathering to our higher up law enforcement community to then push that information to ICE so they can then act on that information.
And what you're looking at, I brought this up a little bit earlier, but this is a post from Secretary Kristi Noem as she says arresting some criminal aliens this morning in NYC. Thank you to the brave officers involved. Why did you want to make sure to be a part of this? Why was it so important for you?
Well, my family has a background in law enforcement, as do I. On top of that, I feel like as a representative here in the district and for the state of Mississippi, we're supposed to represent our constituents, what their wants. And after you see the referendum vote that President Trump got, he basically ran on this as one of his number one agendas. So this is an opportunity for Mississippi to kind of take that step to support him and to illustrate to the voters that we're trying to do, and we hear what you're saying.
Now, let's just keep it real. Mississippi always been red now. It's places and it's cities in Mississippi that are Democratic led. Don't get me wrong, but Mississippi, the state itself, has always been red. So it just is what it is.
As the author of this piece of legislation, do you see it getting enough support to move forward?
I do. I had some conversations with people as recent as last night. The committee is aware of the bill, and there's been numerous conversations to kind of work this forward. What we would like to have happen is, to have multiple people at the table so that multiple different ideas can come forward so that the best piece for Mississippi and for the nation can then, be put into legislation.
As it does move forward, I did want to ask you, are there any maybe misconceptions that you feel that people have about this legislation or maybe the situation as a whole?
Well, I think the initial knee-jerk reaction for a lot of people is they see this and it says illegal alien bounty hunter program, and they just assume that people are going to run rampant and just start scooping up individuals and start hauling them off. If you look at how Tom Horman has gone through this process, it's very tactful. They're going after the worst of the worst. They have files and information on people with criminal backgrounds here in the States that aren't supposed to be here, or they also have a criminal background from the country in which they came from. So this is no different. We want licensed legal people to go through a vetted process and then specifically target those that should not be here, that are a detriment to our national safety, our neighborhoods, and our schools, and so forth.
My last question for you here, and this kind of is on the same topic there, but some people who maybe do not support this or fully understand it, what message do you want to get across? What would you say to them in the hopes of maybe changing their minds?
Well, I would argue on that side, which we've had very little opposition, if at all. It's been overwhelmingly supportive here at home. Within our state, just our state auditor put out a report last year. In that report, he said that we are spending statewide $100 million in our state funds towards illegal aliens. So there's a lot of money that we can.
Damn, I did not know Mississippi was doing that type of shit. Hold on. I mean, I figured each state is spending some type of money on illegals because it's a nationwide problem. But yeah, wow.
Recoup and use for different programs. I think it's now open to the public that nationwide, President Biden did not really put America first. We've got a lot of citizens that were homeless, veterans, and people of that nature that have been doing without, and they have seen illegal aliens come into our country and be able to be very well off on the taxpayer dollar. So financially, there is something to gain at a national level and a state level, but ultimately, this is a safety first issue for a lot of people.
Right. Hey, shout out to that. Listen, look. And these are just the facts right here. And yeah, I was very pissed about this situation. Still is. They've been taking this money and been giving it to these illegals, and we got veterans and homeless people out there and things like that we could have, provided those shelters for, stuff like that. And also some of these homeless people could just be down on their luck at the moment. Could have got them back in certain programs, stuff like that, got them people back with jobs and things like that. But we're too busy trying to take care of everybody else around the world. Well, at least the past administration was, it just is what it is at this point. Shout out to everybody, Denver, Mississippi, up there in New York. Shout out to all the officers and things like that are trying to, trying to get America back on track and get this criminal element up out of here. But it is what it is, though. Shout out to all my subscribers. Mad love to you. Mad love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell to be notified whenever I decide to post things. And like I always say,
and that, my friends, is the bottom line.
That, my friends, is the bottom line.